Since I'm doing some videos, I thought I'd talking about comic books, just kind of do a video showing off my CGC collection. So this here is one I just got back. It's the premier variant of Spider-Man with Jj Abrams. Just a 9.6. It's another one I just got back. My one video I just talked about. This is my lone surviving childhood comic book. And I met Larry Hama back in... What is that? Not sure what that is, if that's supposed to be a date. But it was actually 2015 when I met him. Got that signed. I was on a Morbius kick when Spider-Woman 1 came out, and I saw this variant cover, so I got it, and then I went ahead and had it graded. Only came back a 9.6, never been read, but I don't, who cares. I picked this up because it was cheap, 9.6, one of those limited things, and you'll see the reason why I picked this one up in a little bit. Actually, you'll see it right next, because I see it's the next one I have in the row. I only bought it because it is paying homage to this one, and yep, this is the real thing. Has a 9.0, but this is the first appearance of Harley Quinn, and I always really wanted this book, but never really wanted to pay top dollar for it. That would what it commands. I had someone give me a box of 90s comic books. Most of it, well, actually all of it, but this one was pretty much the common stuff you find. Superman, death of Superman, more death of Superman. Superman comes back to life. Superman turns into electricity. Superman, and then a couple of Batman adventures, and then that one was in there, so I was happy I went ahead and took the box. This one, I just really have always loved this cover, and this one popped up on eBay for a price. You know, it's a 5.5. I'm not a grade chaser. You'll find that I have a lot of them in here that people will turn their noses up at, that just, I don't care. I just like having the books, and I do like to have them CGC because it's protection, and it's also allows an idea of actual value. Just in case I kick the bucket and someone sells my comics someday, they can at least get a fair price for them. This one, I was hoping, can't think. This one, I just got back from CGC. Pretty happy with having it as high as it did come back. Of course, you know, it's got its flaws. But like I said, I'm just happy to have it. And you'll see that I have another key issue of Spider-Woman in here. This one is another one I just got back. 9.2. When Rogue joins the X-Men. I have her first appearance in here, and that cover is rather lackluster, but this one is pretty cool because it actually has her on the cover, and this is when she actually joins the X-Men and becomes the X-Men that we all love, versus the villain. Wonder Woman. Bought this just because I really liked the cover, and it was kind of at a time where it just fell into my lap. So this is one that I got a notification that J. Scott Campbell has a new signature series, what have you. You know, email, you subscribe, and I found this book, this cover, to be just really cool and unique. So I went ahead and got this one. It's autograph signature series. I also wanted a signature series so I could say I have one instead of just qualified. And then that led to me buying another issue of that same Wonder Woman. But this one is the J. Scott Campbell Signature Series, and it's a 9.8. And I just really love this cover. And I bought this more for art than actual comic book. And of course, I'm a toy collector more than I am a comic collector. So I have almost all the run of the Marvel G.I. Joe. Of course, I need issue 155 like 90% of all G.I. Joe comic book collectors need. This one fell into my lap, and I had it sent into CGC. 8.5, more than happy with that grade. Not a grade chaser, but whenever I get one that's nice. Here's one that I dabble in stained glass art. And 3 Alarm Comics, Scott Hooverman. Before the massive price jack up that happened with Punisher, probably about 8, 9, 10 years ago, he wanted a stained glass logo of his shop. So I did that in trade for this comic book. I then had it cleaned and pressed by my friend Nick, who does it professionally, and it was pulled out as 6.5. Biggest flaw is that crud down there. But, you know, if I were to get rid of that, it'd be... Yeah, you can't get rid of that, but I don't care. I've never thought I'd get that issue. This is one of my grails. Everyone talks about wanting issue 1 or Amazing Fantasy 15. Death of Gwen Stacy and the Death of Green Goblin have always been 2 of my grails. And I do have issue 121 also, but it's not CGC yet. But, yeah. Then I've got this one. First appearance of Hobgoblin. And this is where it comes in handy, not being overly anal and picky. This is a nice grade, but it's qualified because of stupid tattoos. And in fact, I have a video on here that I already posted that if you look for it, you'll see that you hear the whole backstory about this one and the tattoos, but I really didn't care about having tattoos in the comic book or not. This one, again, qualified. Has Mark Bagley's autograph on it. No one's going to fake it, but CGC doesn't authenticate it. 9.0. It's good enough for me. I don't care. I kind of like the green label color more than the blue. Here's just an Amazing Spider-Man issue for my collection. And with all the hype with Venom, this is the issue when they first realized the black costume is really a symbiote and it's alive. So, and it had the Spider-Man logo, label, whatever. I'm not editing this video, so I probably sound like a complete idiot more so than normal, but I don't care. This is, I believe this is like one of the first covers J. Scott Campbell did for Spider-Man. I think I paid about what it would cost to have the book graded for this one, and it's a 9.6, so I don't... That was like one of those, I'm looking on eBay and found it cheap, so I bought it moments. Kind of same thing with this one. It's like, hey, that's an early Venom appearance, issue 332, CGC 9.4. I think I paid $40 for this. I definitely think it's worth $40, so I bought it. Spare of the moment. This issue was a wonderful gift from my friend. He knows he has all his childhood comic books. He's got 15 years age on me, so books he had from his childhood are really cool ones, where the books that I would have had from my childhood would have been, well, not so cool ones. So he had duplicates of this one, so he gifted me one, and I'm most happy because that makes one less key that I... This was my first CGC comic I ever bought. I always wanted Secret Wars number 8 because I love Spider-Man and I really like Venom, but I also just really like the look of the black costume. So having the origin of where the black costume came from, and I bought this from my friend Tony's shop over in Kaiser, Oregon. He gave me a pretty good deal. I think he had 120 on it and he let me have it for 70. But of course, it's also the Canadian price variant, so that's cool. I don't really care about that kind of detail, but since it's the more rare one, I'm not going to complain. Now here's the first appearance of Rogue. Don't care about the 7.5 grade. Was just happy to get it in a budget price that I could afford and have it and say I have it. Same thing with this X-Men is Gambit. Given I hear there's back and forth about which issue or which comic is his true appearance, but this is a pretty cool comic. Happy to have it. Didn't pay much for it. It's starting to go up, so I probably got it at the right time. I did the same thing with She-Hulk. I heard rumors of the shows or the movies or whatever's coming and managed to get this one for a lot less than what it's selling for now. Miss Marvel. This was, probably, I paid a fair price. I didn't get a good deal, didn't get a bad deal. But this one, I have a friend that kind of reminds me of Captain Marvel, so I kind of bought that just to have a little memento of whatever. This one is another one that it's pretty cool. My same friend that gave me the first appearance of Morbius gave me this. Was quite shocking. He'd given me a bunch of Marvel Tales and other issues of Amazing Spiderman that had been, he cut pictures out and different things. He gave me a couple other really nice issues of like Defenders and stuff, but this was hidden in there. In fact, I went through it, the pile, and I saw this book and I didn't even realize it was the real deal. It wasn't until my niece was like, I think this isn't a reprint. Value stamp is cut out, but who cares? I love that book. It's one of my prized possessions, and it means a lot to me, even if it wasn't worth as much as it can be. And then this is the first appearance, or not first appearance, but the first Spider-Woman #1. And in fact, it works out pretty good because here's that. That's kind of why I wanted this one, so I can have them displayed next to each other. The first appearance and then the first issue, they complement each other. But yeah, that's my CGC comics. I have a few more that are waiting to come back, and you can tell I'm most professional with my videos right now. I'm just starting to get into doing this and trying to get the feel for it, so forgive my low quality and lack of editing skills. I'm just pretty much a guy who's winging it and trying to learn as I go, and probably making a fool of myself in the process.